This is the Hip Hop African Podcast, a show where we have in-depth conversations about African hip-hop culture and artists. Your host is Msia Kibona Clark, a professor in the Department of African Studies at Howard University. For more information or to contact us, please visit us at hiphopafrican.com.
Find some t-shirts, wear rap my rapper. Fold some cash, tack 'em in my skirt fold. If I know dash, go be late in death cold. Know they feel to rev, stroll stop kabi.
In this episode, we're talking to the Ghanaian hip-hop duo FOKN Bois, as in those FOKN Bois. The duo consists of members Wanlov the Kubolor and M3nsa. Since they released a hilarious film, 'Cause of Money, in 2010, which was considered the world's first Pidgin language musical, they have released several albums together. Most recently, they released Afrobeats LOL. Individually, they have also released several solo projects. The duo was well known for using both comedy and clever wordplay to address a lot of meaningful social issues.
Demonic preaching on the radio.
I cry by night, I feel alright. Then my week make tight, I for enjoy my life.
So welcome, thank you all. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you for having us, man. It's been a long time.
Yes, a very, very long time. So I'm just going to ask a couple of questions because I know the students have questions. They were kind of studying your music. So the first question I want to ask is regarding the decision to rap in Pidgin. So for those people who don't know, Pidgin English, I'm not really sure what the status is now, but for a long time, Pidgin English in West Africa was kind of considered like the music, the language of the so-called working class, and proper Africans didn't use it. And so I wanted to know what went into the decision to rap in Pidgin English rather than another language. Was that something like consciously you both decided to do?
Oh, you sound very low.
Mm-hmm.
My voice?
The mic here, very low.
That's
And there's a lot of noise.
So I'm holding this mic.
Wow.
Wow, it's like a huge
clarity.
huge
But
difference.
I was holding this mic to my mouth for nothing the whole time.
Yeah. Like you was like you in a factory.
But bro, you should have told me.
I
like,
only
yo,
noticed
come
that it
on,
was
there's
you.
something going on with your mic.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. So I said a lot of things that nobody heard. Basically.
Oh no, you didn't say so. You said it started in America.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I just looked at artists that I like and okay. I remember this. I got off stage once at there's a place called Chaos Network in Lemet Park, Los Angeles. There's an event called Project Blood open mic every Thursday. You sign up on this sheet, whatever. And after performing once, I used to rap trying to sound like Mos Def and Busta Rhymes, and I used to put on what I thought was an American accent to rap. And when I got off stage, after rapping sometimes, and I'll be talking with the guys around me, they realized I had an accent and I spoke in a different way, especially if I had other Ghanaian friends around. And they were like, man, why don't you I like the way you speak and how you're expressing yourself. It would be dope if you put more of that on wax. And it came also at the same time when I was realizing that Jay-Z sounds how he sounds, where he comes from. Beanie Man sounds like where he comes from, and that just kind of gradually made me start going towards Pidgin more and trying to reach my own people, basically.
Yeah. I mean, for me, you grow up listening to a lot of imported music from the US. And so when you start creating, I think the first thing you initially do is to kind of try and mimic that. And so actually everything that you write is like pieces of things that you've already heard that you're putting back together. So in a sense, you're not fully creating original material. It's still a form of, just kind of repuzzling things, like reparroting things that you've heard. That's one thing. And so for me, the moment I started writing in Pidgin, there was a new sense of freedom and originality. You know, it was just like, because that was almost like the mother tongue in a sense, you know, and also because, especially between myself and Wanlov, because we were such rebellious kids in school, and Pidgin was also branded the kind of the code language for rebellious kids. It was perfect because we had mastered it and we could really own the language, and now create something that the foreign ears would have to now do their research to be down, you know? And so now we finally had our street slang, like the New Yorkers or the guys in LA were using, you know, like they, you know, where you be saying cuz or whatever, we be saying chale, you know, or dude or whatever, you know. So that in itself was just like, that's when we really started owning our craft in a sense, you know, by just really expressing in the most comfortable way and saying everything that we felt like we wanted to say with so much ease without thinking of how would the guys in East New York say it, and am I saying it correctly, or am I, you know, it was just like, it was ours, you know. You don't have to think twice about just expressing pure emotion. And that's why it was easy for us to keep going deeper and deeper into Pidgin English. Okay. You know, it was the freedom that came with it.
No, it was one. I remember I had gotten a copy of Cuz of Money that didn't have the subtitles, and I just played it for the students, and I was surprised how much they were able to pick up. I just said, just listen, just open your ears and listen, and you'll be able to get a lot of it.
Yeah. After a while, it just starts making sense, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the other question, and I'm going to throw it up into the students. So your music addresses, like I said, a lot of socially relevant issues, and you're also very funny. And so I wanted to find out, like, the humor, I think, really helps people absorb the more serious content. And so, you know, just like when you look at stand-up comedians who have political content, like Dick Gregory and some of these kind of other legends, can you explain how you negotiate the humor and the social commentary in the creative process?
I mean, you know, like Wanlov said, we had grown up listening to a lot of conscious rappers who took themselves very seriously, you know, and we also felt like everything that needed to be said had probably been said in that manner already. You couldn't out-rap KRS-One or Mos Def or, you know, whoever or whatever it was, you know. Naturally, we are, you know, like myself and Wanlov, the way we interact and our creative process is to really just try and make each other laugh as much as possible. You know, that's when we're like, so a lot of our sessions are just like, just really just messing around, you know? And we felt like, you know, with dealing with all the nonsense that's going on around us, especially like in Ghana and politics and you know, the leadership and whatnot, if we approached it with that level of angst and just like, you know, super conscious in this thing, we would end up either going into a space of either like constant panic attacks or being such angry musicians and whatnot. So I think self-deprecation is the best way to, you know, just, you know, to kind of ease things off of yourself. And that's where that came from. So we would just make fun of situations to be able to laugh about it. Like one would often say, like, it was a kind of a therapy for us, you know, and then we went outward with it. Because really a lot of the way we were writing was we wrote for each other in a sense, like just trying to amuse each other. And then
Sorry. How did I do that?
Have I been muted?
Yeah, sorry. That was no.
That was an accident.
All right. Imagine. It's like, why are these guys nodding?
Sorry.
If I'm muted,
You're good.
Why are you nodding?
I was trying to mute one person. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I'm messing around. This time I'm getting you guys back.
That's right. Imagine this whole time we were just maybe
like this.
we were just acting like we can hear you. Keep going. Oh man,
Yeah, man.
that's
And it's it's crazy because it's like you said, what is like what's the negotiation? It's like we are able to cut through and almost sneak in a lot of difficult conversations. Otherwise, we would have been met with a lot of resistance. Like if you want to speak about just kind of normalizing homosexuality or normalizing atheism, or speaking for just general rights, or even the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria and just all that nonsense, somehow we had to kind of sneak it past people's awareness, and laugh about it, but then the conversations will still be had, and the next thing you know, it's it's in the room and we're talking about it, so I think that really was our ninja move. Really, I'd say.
Okay.
as it's also extremely cathartic to be able to turn your problems into laughter, and so it's also really like a self-therapy for us. And like Mensa said, it's just two friends, we're bantering and just trying to see how much we can make the other person laugh. And we felt at a point, like when we looked at people like Fela and Bob Marley and Nina Simone and people that are singing for a change they do not realize in their lifetime, and we just felt that's quite a sad way to go.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna start laughing now to our graves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All
We are
right.
laughing on our way to hell. Mensa, have you seen the New York Times headline?
No.
It says, Mensa, this is the headline. I'm not making this up. Africans say Ukrainian authorities were being racist to them. Africans say. So the New York Times could not find out and report the story. They just reported the Africans saying
according to these Africans, yeah.
Yes.
Even though the footage, everything is there.
Because they love Ukraine right now, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. Okay.
Who would have thought this would have happened to a so-called a civilized country? I mean, we would expect something like this to happen in, excuse my language, Africa.
The places where our parents attack. We expect it to happen only where our parents attack. Yeah, okay.
Charlie.
All right. Any students, if you have a question, just raise your hand and I will call on you. Do not be shy. Or if you can type it in the chat. Thank God. This is thank God we're not. Okay. Kumi, I can't. Do you want to unmute and say something?
Yeah, I can read the question if they are fine with that. But but only Mensa can say the name. Oluwabukumi Onapeju.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, we tried our best.
It's crazy. Oluwabukumi is almost like God will kill me in Fanti.
Yeah, in one of the Ghanaian languages.
Wow. Oh wow.
That's crazy.
That's interesting.
What does it mean? If you don't mind us asking, because I know it means God something, right?
It means God has added to, or God's positive addition.
Hey, it's the exact opposite.
They're about to take you out. Minus you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so she's saying this "Thank God We're Not a Nigerian" song is crazy and Nigerian. What was the idea behind it? It was all Mensah's idea. He was married to a Nigerian at the time and wanted to get back.
Yeah. My children are half Nigerian, you know, so it's just a bit of self-hate going on there, you know. I look at my children, I was like,
offspring
thank
hate.
God. Yeah, thank God I'm not like you
Half
guys.
of you. I'm not half of you guys.
I mean, look, I'm sure you know that, you know, Ghanaians and Nigerians have always had a often healthy banter, you know, healthy kind of rivalry for many years. I mean, there was a time when it got quite bad and violent, but it was never really a thing. And we've always tried to jump up and slap the, you know, the bigger, taller, older brother.
You almost said slurp. You almost said slurp.
And slurp.
The older brother.
slurp the older brother.
Okay, sorry, please continue.
And you know, I mean, really, when you listen to the song, like with like a more nuanced sensibility, you realize that we are actually making fun of ourselves and just kind of making these comparisons to show how Nigerians are often even more patriotic in a lot of the things that they do. You know, when a Nigerian walks into the room, you know, we're the more Anglophiles in West Africa, you know, when it comes to Ghanaians, with our kind of, you know, we are comporting ourselves and being more Europeanized and, you know, and so on and so forth. So I think we're just annoyed by their freedom of being, expression and taking up space, you know, and that's where that came from. But then also, we're always surrounded by Nigerians. I mean, our careers are built closely by with Nigerian allyship. I have to say, you know, our manager was Nigerian. Actually, one of you tell the story, yes.
Yeah, but also this song, we composed this song just when there was this African Cup, I think, about to happen.
The football match.
I think it's either World African. Anyway, Ghana was going to play Nigeria, and we just wanted, you know, a song that would just, you know, tickle and tease. And what happened with this song was very interesting. When this song came out, the Ghanaian media collectively banned the song. They said this song was going to create tensions between Ghana and Nigeria. So they were not playing it. There was articles and blogs out writing about the song, and certain radio personalities asking that the song be stopped from the radio. And funny enough, this song got us invited to perform at the O2 in London with Two-Face. It got us to go to the Shrine 2 times to perform at the Shrine. Afropolitan vibes in Nigeria, and just, I mean, get more friends and fans there because Nigerians got the spirit of the song.
Yeah.
And so what happened later, which was super hypocritical and quite wicked and I guess evil from the Ghanaian media, is later, months to a year later, when Boko Haram incidents started, like Boko Haram attacks started becoming prevalent in the north of Nigeria. Then these radio DJs who were talking bad about us making that song would now play that song in a literal way on the radio, responding to the Boko Haram attacks. So we had our management, you know, call almost all the radio stations and make public announcements that we do not want to hear that song anywhere being played in such a time.
Yeah.
And so
in that context,
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy, and like we would go to Nigeria and, you know, with a crowd of like 15,000 people, and we'd be like, okay, well, tonight is probably not the night to do tango. We're not the Nigerians, and they would drag us back on stage,
yeah. Perform that song now. You made it. Now perform it. Yeah. So it was made just in jest and fun, and, you know, brotherhood, sisterhood. It was just banter, and it still is, but now it's sad for us to hear the song because it's like we are talking about Ghana in the literal sense when we start talking about generators and power outages and corruption and all this stuff. It's like Ghana is
very familiar.
just one step behind.
All right. So I saw Ava. You typed a question, but your mic is. Let me just see because I can't see.
Most profound lesson.
What was the most you have learned throughout your career, and how did it change your life? Man, that's such a deep question. Who is this person?
Ava.
Oh,
Ava, don't play.
Yeah.
Why so serious, Ava?
Yeah, come on. Come on, dude.
I think
it could be anything. I think everything. I don't know about most profound, but just even for me, like on tour a few years ago, somewhere, I think a year ago, I think we were in Switzerland, and I was watching the sound technician take the mic off stage, like unscrew the mic. And instead of turning the mic like I always did in the studio, which takes about 1 to 3 minutes, he just spins the bar under the mic, and it just spins it like a screw. And then in a few, and for me, it's profound because it saves me time now. Yeah, I screw the mic faster.
Yeah,
but I'll try and think of something whilst Mensa is probably contributing.
I think, I don't know if you'd call that profound, but it's quite. I think it also encompasses what Wanlov is saying. I think for us, what we've realized that is you'll never finish learning as an artist.
Definitely.
Or you will never reach that point where it's like, okay, I finally understood what it is to make the greatest song, or to mix the greatest song, or to engineer the greatest production, or whatever. It's like every small experience is a new experience, and it's a learning opportunity, and there's learning curves and whatnot. So, and that's what makes it interesting for us. Like, we're constantly challenged to evolve, and I think as a creative, and also because being in our line of work, or from sort of mainstream, just being an artist, man, it's such an ageist kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's
for rap music, it is,
especially for rap music, and
because it's a new phenomenon.
Exactly, it's like the first rappers
generation
to hit first generation to hit 50
are still alive,
are just happening now. It's for the first time, and it's kind of like it's a youth oriented kind of environment, but then we're realizing that there's enough space, so long as you're curious enough and you are constantly working on your craft and discovering yourself and things around you. So for us, it's the constant evolution, and that, I think, can be applied to every facets of our lives. It's like you're constantly learning, and there's always something to excite you about,
so the way I learned about the mic,
you see what I mean? It's like constant, even the littlest things,
always learning stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a small profound thing, and yours was the encompassing profundity.
yeah, I just kind of generalized it, But it's funny that he was thinking about that, because for me it was like, for us, it's like we're
learning,
and it's like every album. We've never made an album that's like.
Sorry, man, but when we're in school, like when I was in school, in high school, especially in high school, I couldn't wait to finish learning.
Yeah.
I didn't want to learn more. I just wanted to finish.
This subject done, please. Let's, and for us,
finish.
Yeah.
But with music, it's like if I'm sitting there and some YouTube video pops up in the corner, how to mix your hi-hat on the frequency of 900 hertz. I was like, oh, okay, let me check. And I'm always like throwing stuff in my head.
The secret to life is that,
Hey, you see, you're about to give us the secrets. Finally.
Yeah, it's like find something that you're genuinely interested in, and you'll become that student or that, that you thought you could never be, because I never envisioned myself as somebody who was like studious or somebody who would research into things when I was at school. I just wanted to be left alone, and I never did my assignments, never showed up on time, nothing. But once we discovered something that we loved, I realized that I do have a work ethic. I take being punctual serious. I'm curious. I do research. I write notes. Like we do everything. We spend hours. Like we can be in the studio and like you go
For
in
days.
the morning for days and lose track of time because we're so kind of,
Time traveling.
Yeah. So it's for us. It's like it allowed us to understand that we can be, I don't know, maybe prolific at something.
So that was the answer to Ava Holtzman's question.
Yeah, she tried it now. We've met her. We've given her the same energy. We have matched your energy, Ava.
Precious, did you want to unmute and say, or did you want to go ahead and unmute?
Okay. My question was, I don't know if it was mentioned before because I had to step away for a little bit, but my question was, what is your creative process when coming up with the concepts for your songs and videos?
And Precious, you're from Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Precious, don't call.
Yeah, I don't know. The way
varies,
Mensa, the way me and Mensa write or don't write, it's like comes from so many angles. Like the songs we didn't write a word down for, but how the song starts, usually we say a phrase or we say something that is. We always try and say things like once Mensa said, and it hits me so hard, it's stuck in my memory. Mensa was walking by someone eating a sandwich, and we're in I think a predominantly Muslim part of Spain. And we're walking by this place, and this guy was eating a sandwich, and Mensa asked the person if that was halal pork. so just put in like he did that, so then I'll just be thinking like, how can I get him back? So it's like we put together just strange combination of words or words that have some alliteration or just rhyme words. And then we find a rhythm in it. And sometimes that leads us into making a beat.
Yeah.
Or we just keep those things recorded as a voice note.
Yeah.
And when we have a beat or something later, we're like, oh, that one thing we said once, we'll go and listen to it and put it on the beat.
Yeah.
But sometimes we will just hear the beats and then the lyrics will come from it. For example, one beat was like, and we're like, the beat was it's a hip hop beat. And then we just saw on the TV, Obama, we saw him on the TV and he had just been president for like a year or two and his whole head was gray. And we're like, oh, old Obama. Like this is just so quickly has become such an old person from all the stress of racism and everything he's dealing with, right? And we felt sad. And then we started singing Sudan, help America. It was going to doom, and then we just came up with that. So it can be the beat and anything we see around us coming together, making sense to both of us, resonating.
Yeah.
And sometimes inspiration from a different artist. Like one of our greatest songs, Mensa, if you want to tell them, Broken Languages, how it came about.
Oh yeah, this is from Smooth the Hustler and Triggered the Gambler. These brothers who I think from Brooklyn, early 90s, they made a song called Broken Languages where they were just like, just describing themselves, but in like the hoodest way, And so we kind of thought, okay, broken languages, how do we, and also, Pidgin English is also often called broken English, And so we kind of, okay, how do we
break it down further?
Further, and tell our story. You know what I mean? And that's, and we made we were having so much fun that we literally in the song, at one point I say, please stop rapping. That's enough. But that was like the reality because we were rapping for 7 minutes of no chorus, just back to back, just going. And that's just how, that's how much fun we were having, So it's also just really trying to see how much we can inspire each other, and push the boundaries with each other in terms of like, insane ideas and so on and so forth. And then the videos are the same, like, after making the songs, we just think, just listening and think, how far can we push this,
Yeah, like with like I don't know if you guys have seen Jesus is Coming, but I watched it recently, and my mind was blown by us. You forgot we have a video for Jesus is Coming?
Yeah, I'm saying it'd be crazy video. Yeah.
It's crazy because you're watching a video, first of all, because in Africa, people think like Jesus is a white person here. We flip the roles. So Mensa is playing Jesus and I'm playing the devil, right? Because I'm fair. I'm like more lighter skin. And then the subtitles we are putting on there is like a narration of the story you are watching. So, and the lyrics are saying a completely different
thing.
Sexual innuendo stuff. So like the lyrics are sexual innuendos. The subtitling is the story going on in there, and then the roles are crazy. So it's like a triple devil cake.
Yeah, you have to watch it 3 times to kind of catch all the different things that are happening. I mean, also like Accra by Night. There's a song that's talking about nightlife in Accra, and we decided to shoot the video in Johannesburg.
And we're just like dancing around like Accra by night.
Showing
I feel all right. And behind us is a huge Johannesburg. So yeah, we're just like people were. But the thing is, we were doing social commentary because it became fashion around that time for all artists to go and shoot in Johannesburg.
Right.
You know, so we also went there to shoot a song about Accra because
everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
Well, here's one that Salma Muhammad.
So we've got 2. So we're gonna just do the last 2 questions. Yeah. So there's Danielle and Selma. So I don't know, Danielle, did you want to unmute and say yours?
Yeah. My question was, well, I had 2. My first question was, what encouraged you to keep going in music?
And go ahead with the second one, just so that we can have both of them.
And my second question is, who influenced you to music?
Encourages you to keep going in music. Yeah. I don't know what encourages. I guess it's just the fun I have in producing and writing and producing other people, writing with people, producing with people, performing music. It's being therapeutic for me. Like when I write and record and create something and I get a satisfaction from just the creative and I guess the finished process and product as well. And so it just keeps me going because all like the facets of it energize me. And who influenced me? I guess just musicians I was listening to without knowing I was listening to them growing up.
Yeah.
And then different musicians influenced me at different points in my career. For example, there's a musician called Sixto Rodriguez from Dearborn, Michigan. And he influenced me to really take the guitar seriously, you know. And I'll say Busta Rhymes and Snoop Dogg influenced me to rap. And I guess other musicians as well, rappers and stuff. So it's different kind of.
Yeah.
But then the support from fellow musicians like Mensa and like Ambule and Panji, that has, kept me. Yeah, that support and that was kind of like people that pushed me more to keep creating music. Yeah.
For me, it's the promise of wealth. Just want to blow up. I'm encouraged that one day. Yeah. No, I mean, it's like when you find that, I think it works with everything else, I think when you find that one thing that you're really passionate about and something that you feel like you are constantly growing within and it keeps giving you back, you don't even think about, every day you just wake up and you just keep going, keep trying, It's like it's not a conscious thing anymore. It becomes a part of your existence in your daily routine. When you reach a certain level, I feel, So, but then all the good things that Wanlov mentioned, those are the things that keep us going back, influence in music. It's different. It's different things. For me, even like for a long time, it was a lot of music I was hearing. I didn't even know who was making it because I was into video game music, like 16-bit Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis music, and it was just like, wow, this is so cool, classical music, hip hop, country music, and the great writing. It's just like never really. It's just really the music that's caused a kind of effect in your brain, and also seeing people reacting to music made you want to be a part of it. It's like it does something to the brain, doesn't it? And that's just really what I feel. Just kept me going back for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
All right, Selma, did you want to unmute and ask your question? Did you?
Yeah, I can unmute. So my question was about the song Sexy Islamic Girls. So you guys talked about how you want to like promote atheism. Do you feel like you can promote atheism without demonizing or contributing to the I can't even say the word right now.
Fetishizing.
Yeah, of like
Muslims.
Specifically Muslim women who already have a lot of discourse around hijab and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, go ahead, Wanlov.
Yeah, I want Kai. What year we do that song? Is it Kai?
So it was around 2009, 10, 2008. Yeah, 2009, 10, I would say.
Yeah. The dynamics as to what led to make this song. First of all, do you think it's if we think it's Islamophobic, I feel if a person who is Muslim feels it's Islamophobic, then it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would have written the song the same way in these times and with the kind of knowledge we have now.
Yeah.
But the dynamics of what led to this song is growing up in Ghana. There's this air from the Islamic community of piety, of holiness, that Christians just pretend to be good and pretend to obey God, but they do all the drinking, they do all these, different like sins, and that the Muslims are more pious, they are more just. The Muslims do not do any bad things. Basically, is the energy here in Ghana, and of course, that the Muslim men marry virgins, and this whole virginity of Muslims being promoted, that they are more virgins than Christian women. Okay, so this is what the kind of atmosphere we're growing up in, but at the same time, we were having sex with Muslim girls. And so it came around the time that there was a lot of, I think when Boko Haram, that was around the beginning of the Boko Haram attacks, and we just felt at the time, to do that song for whatever, at the moment now, I don't know if, again, like I'm saying, we would have created that song.
Yeah.
But
just to add to what Wanlov was saying, and I want to kind of second that, like, if a Muslim person feels like the song is Islamophobic, then it is something, it's valid and it's something to consider. I have to say that when we wrote the song, we were a bit more reckless, a bit more like irreverent, but within reason, because that album that we made, FOKN with You, was that nobody was beyond being talked about or being critiqued
exposed.
or exposed. You see what I'm saying? So in the same strength, if you listen to it in the context of the album, there's a song about Rastafarians, there's a song about Christianity, a song about atheism, in a sense. It's just like everything. It was just like everybody was getting it. Do you know what I mean? And the song really, like, also like the subtext would be something about just liberation, like sexual liberation for women, and them, calling their own shots. You know what I mean? And just to say, look, man, there's Muslim girls who want to have sexual relations with us, and that's the onus is on them, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, but obviously, the way it was put across, like Wanlov was saying, given the opportunity right now, we probably would have approached it a bit more and a bit more sensitively, or a bit more
creatively.
More creatively. Then we were really just like I say, a bit more reckless. Then it's like we were out to make a name. We're younger, bring it. We got time, and just like we were getting threats, and it was like, yeah, good. We're getting, the conversations are happening. Rastas wanted to, Rastas who were homophobic wanted to shave our heads and rape us. And it's like, sodomize us and whatnot. It's like we're getting it from everywhere. We had a song called Jesus is Coming, which was like a purely sexual song, but then also talking about the second coming of Christ. So that was also like, the innuendos and whatnot. So I just say this to say that...
Sorry, man, sorry.
Just to wrap it up, just saying contextually, it was just like, it was within a series of songs that was like addressing all religions and just like being, what's the word? I can't find the right word for it, but given the opportunity, we might approach it slightly different. Yeah,
I think we should, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So I know Courtney
still sexing,
stressing Islamic girls. We are sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Stressing. Can you promote atheism in Ghana without fetishizing Muslims?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It wasn't like we just picked on Muslims. It was just like everybody was a target then.
Okay, that's okay. I see what you mean.
Just kind of exposing all the hypocrisies within, religions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is the last question from the students. Courtney, I know since you were the co-host, I'm going to let you have the last student question.
Thank you. You guys kind of touched on this earlier, but I wanted to know a little bit more about your experience kind of breaking through in the music industry, more so than like your music itself. Do you find yourself ever getting frustrated trying to establish credibility as musicians, or when you first started? Or was it always kind of just an easy transition for you?
I think we have too much credibility. That's what
okay.
I think that's what's happening. It's like being overqualified for a job. It's like because anywhere we go, we're going to create disaster there, and it's like so doors close because they don't want the audiences of the artists currently making them money to see how much more they have to work at their quality, at their craft.
It's definitely that. Yeah.
And so you are maybe a real diamond, I shouldn't use diamond, but let's say you're a nice, expensive gem valued by yourself somewhere, and you cover that, it's not yours, so you cover it so that some less shiny stone looks like it's the brightest,
Yeah.
So so it's that kind of...
It's a struggle, It's like whichever environment you're in, it's like, and I hate to say this because it's like, being black in certain environments is already an uphill struggle, and then being black African, it's almost like, the way you get treated, in like the tier.
I know.
It's just like, it's like the tier of, qualification is like...
It's like in Ghana, being poor is bad enough. Then you be trans and poor. It's like the West.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're going to suffer. Like our friends are suffering. Yeah.
So there's also the curse that comes with being pioneers at what you do. I mean, for a long time, they wouldn't play the music because it was like, oh, we love the music, but we don't know what to do with it. It's Pidgin English, we don't know, blah, blah, blah. But now Pidgin English is like all the main... I mean, you've got, what's his name? The British white boy who just...
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran is singing in Pidgin right now. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. But then when we started rapping in Pidgin, people would call in the radio station and say they should stop that music because it's destroying the Queen's
The Queen's English, yeah.
Destroying the Queen's English.
Yeah. So there's that, you know, we've always had to be the ones who literally crawled so that our, you know, the ones after us could walk and fly, and you know. But the thing is also is like, we're not bitter. We understand that it's a process. We understand the role that we're playing. We understand. We also kind of, we enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah. We understand where we get the joy from.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And at the same time, we have our avenues. You know, we're always touring in Europe.
Yeah.
We're always on the move. We're seeing new places in the world.
Yeah.
And we're seeing many small new places in the world too that we never thought of, like small towns, small places where if we were touring on some superstar schedule in these parts of the world, we would never see these places and all these. We'll see hotels, stages, money. We'll see money in their accounts.
Oh no, not money. No, God.
Why do you want to see that for? Yeah. So,
but you see,
we see like what is happening, like and we're enjoying it.
And that's the thing, you know. It's like when you're, you know, just because of the way that the lack of an industry, whereas it's like, it's either you are, the extremities is like either you're super poor, nobody cares about you, or you blew up and you're super, you know. People don't realize that there are thousands of musicians, artists who are not necessarily super famous but have careers. And that's the thing that we can say that, you know, we've been active musicians for almost 15 years now, which is very rare for, you know, for the genre of music, because it's not that old, and especially coming from Ghana and so on and so forth, that we've been gifted an opportunity to have proper careers and grow in those careers and mature and pick on new tasks and new skills and things like that, and constantly see new parts of the world and so on. So we're not too stressed about we've been doing this longer and these guys just came and they blew up and whatnot, because they'll blow up and they'll disappear, and we're still kind of like, just growing gradually and doing cool shit all the time. You can swear in this class, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Cool. At the end.
The end.
Find out at the end.
So I do want to also acknowledge, I mean, the whole thing, I think one of the things I found amazing is that Ghanaian hip hop artists specifically, I do think the hustle in the artists, what you just said in terms of not having to necessarily blow up, I think so many Ghanaian artists, you guys have proved that. I know things that Blitz is doing is proving that, you know, Manifest. I mean, there are so many examples of artists who have kind of done their own thing and are able to eat from it. And it's just so interesting that so many of them just happen to be Ghanaian. So I literally just did a speech at the University of Maryland about Ghanaian hip hop artists, and so
that level of entrepreneurship that comes with it is crazy.
Very. But I also want people to also realize that you all have also gotten and are getting threats still because of the content. So and that's one of the reasons why I think I asked you, Wanlov, if you were in Ghana, because I think someone had told me, oh no, he's not in Ghana anymore, he's left because of threats and what have you. Right. So that's also very, very real. People don't want you to say the things that you're saying, but they're necessary to be said.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, I mean, not to shit on you guys, but it's like we're not getting US tour dates because of the name of the band. FOKN Bois.
Yeah.
So
several festivals say we're like children friendly festivals. We can't have this band perform.
Yeah. FOKN Bois.
So we're having and it's crazy because we had an opportunity to take $100,000 to change our name when we're releasing Afrobeats LOL. They're like, the cover is pink. You guys have your shirts off and you're called FOKN Bois. No, I want to invest $100,000 in you guys right now, but you need to change your whole presentation and your name. And we're like, nah, sorry. And we did our own thing, right? Yeah. And now the America that influenced us to be hip hop rappers is telling us that the name we created for ourselves and have been using for over 10 years, 15 years, cannot come into America.
Yeah. But you made us who we are.
You created these monsters.
Wow. And thank you guys. Anyway, we have a master plan, and soon you guys will.
You'll hear of us. Stay tuned for the new name.
You'll hear of us. The new name.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming, and this is
Ukrainian pizza.
As always, it has been a pleasure and been a great conversation. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Prof.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us. Thank you. No,
yeah, guys. Take care. Take care, everybody.
The reason Europeans they use chief and tribe more than kingdom or nation is to say you know good day on par with them kinship systems where they have. So like they never want to really call the Ashanti the king of the Ashanti kingdom. They rather go call him the chief of the Ashanti tribe than call the queen of England. Move mountain, where mountain no move to man. The man for create mountain exactly where mountain man they stand. Many go understand, few go overstand. One or two go stand. More recipes and spices for chefs. The macho be bland. Man of the house, talk of the town, king of the streets, the tribe's chief. Settling beef, peddling reef, meddling thieves, rebelling briefs.